Previously on Alan Wake. I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at. But the cabin had disappeared.
É, e foi isso que aconteceu. Salve, salve galerinha aqui do YouTube! E aí, como vocês estão? Vocês estão bem? Bom, eu espero que estejam bem. Eu tô bem também, tô aqui para trazer para vocês a continuação de Alan Wake remasterizado. Só lembrando, se você quiser saber o que aconteceram nos vídeos anteriores, mesmo já tendo passado uma prévia, é só você clicar no primeiro link aí na descrição, é a playlist do Alan Wake, ou se você preferir, assista o vídeo até o final e lá no final vai ter também a playlist do Alan Wake. E é isso, sem mais enrolação, bora pro vídeo.
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up. Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Uau, tá, liga a cafeteira. A Alice ainda estava aqui nessa época. Cadê a cafeteira? Não, aqui não é a cafeteira, é aqui, ó.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
O Alan Wake tá sem barba, tá estranho, tá mais novo. É, mas isso foi alguns anos atrás,
hey,
né?
I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Ó, que isso. Bom, examine os modelos de capa. Onde estão os modelos de capa? Tá uma barulheira de polícia aqui, mano. Aqui, os modelos de capa estão aqui. Ah, tem uma página do manuscrito. What the fuck? Como assim, velho? The Sudden Stop 1, The Sudden Stop 2. É o episódio 2, Possuídos.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that
What
killed
the
me.
fuck? Agora The Sudden Stop
This
2.
was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Sinistro, sinistro. Agora vamos examinar os modelos de capa. Olha, a capa do livro dele.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
What the fuck? Sabia que isso ia acontecer. Tô aqui.
Alan,
Tô aqui,
please
bebê.
check the fuse box.
Você tá gritando? Você tá na
I'm right
cachoeira?
here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm
Aqui, ó.
fine, I'm fine. Just get the lights back on now, please.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
Tá, agora eu tenho que achar as
No,
velas,
it's
não?
stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Que fofinho eles dois. Ótimo. Obrigado, viu? E ainda tá cheio de polícia na rua ainda. Bridge Falls, presente. Ixi, é lá na delegacia, quer ver?
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
Tô ótimo.
My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Liberaram nós assim?
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me.
Tá
I'll
bom.
let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Entendi. Fale com a Sarah. É ela, essa daqui? Não, essa doida?
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
Está bem,
I'll be
moço?
sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Não, eu quero achar a Sarah. Para de falar, vocês duas.
I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Aqui, ó. Opa. Ler. Desaparecidos. Richard Balt, Bruce Dunsky, Jacob Miller. Acampando. Não voltaram. Nenhum contato. Se tiver visto um deles ou souber de seus paradeiros, ligue para 555-9932. Obrigado. É, parece que não é muito anormal as pessoas desaparecerem nessa cidade. Isso é errado.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead.
Oh, vocês é bom mesmo, hein? Obrigado.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up.
É, eu sabia.
Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's
Mr.
Peak.
Wake, can I help you with
Midnight.
anything?
Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can
I
get
couldn't
here
go
from
anywhere
the
yet.
corridor.
I had to play
That's
along with the
my
caller.
locker in there.
Alice's life was at stake.
Cala a boca, moço. Pra mim ir para os fundos é pelo corredor das celas, que é esse daqui. Cala a boca. Gritaria do cacete.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
A esquerda é por ali, mas tem uma garrafa de café aqui. E um rádio. Sempre tem histórias muito boas no rádio.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows.
Olha.
Even a report of shots fired on Main Street.
Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deerfest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting that the big day is almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
Muito bom, senhor radialista, focar. Tem que dar conselho pra esses doidos aí mesmo.
Hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Tá, e como é que eu chego no carro abandonado? Isso é muito feio pulando, velho. E a policial nem tá te vendo, eu vi ela ali dentro. Ó, o homem é brabo. Achei mais um manuscrito, olha só. Vamos lê-lo. Ah! Waking in Lover's Pack.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Bom, a gente perdeu um manuscrito, né? Mas
Alice's
tudo bem.
driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Olha só.
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Droga. Saia da delegacia. Como que eu vou fazer isso se eu não posso? O doido vai vir me buscar mesmo? Bom, aqui ó. Era aqui que eu ia procurar o manuscrito. Ou na mesa daquela doida lá. Vamos torcer pra ser o segundo. E é o segundo. A presença obscura na lanchonete.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Muita brisa esses manuscritos aí, velho. Eu quero saber, tipo... Alguns até previram que ia acontecer, mas esses daí que tá meio... Nossa!
The writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Meu Deus, mano. E será que esses bagulho aí que ele vê na TV, mano? É ele mesmo. Ó, o doido dormiu. E aí, ô Leôncio? Acorda, velho. Vamos lá, vamos ver se nós vamos conseguir sair dessa delegacia. Ah, tem como acender ou apagar a luz. Tá, vamos sair daqui.
They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been...
Esse cara aqui veio me buscar ou não?
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh, my!
Olha o... What the fuck, velho?
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I stick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done.
Tá arrumando.
I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
É aquele doido lá do telefone no
What the hell
comecinho.
was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Meteu o louco mesmo, velho. Meteu um socão na cara do velho.
I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl.
Ah, eu não vou ficar aqui tomando bronca desse cara. Fósseis de um mamute colombiano. Este espécime de idade estimada em 14 mil anos foi encontrado no rancho do Poço do Piche de La Brea em 1981. Os fósseis foram doados ao Parque Nacional Elderwood em 1998, quando o mamute colombiano se tornou o símbolo do estado de Washington. Batizado de Charlie Dentuço, o animal se tornou o mascote oficial do parque. Tudo bem. Tá, o que a gente precisa fazer? Fale com Rust. Eu tô procurando um tal de Rust.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey,
Você é
Rusty,
Rust.
right? You rent cabins.
Será que é aquele cachorrinho?
I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here.
Tô aqui, velho.
Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure.
Charlie Dentuço é o mamute. E o doguinho?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. You got lucky.
Será que o Max...
Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him and...
Ai, meu Deus, para de falar. Todo mundo aqui fica falando, velho. Ó, ele vai começar a falar, não diz?
Just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your
Cala a
head.
boca.
I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al.
Tá bom, velho, tá bom. Chega. Toma aqui o formulário, doido.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Ok. Ai, agora aquele cara vai começar a falar de novo.
Just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that.
Embaixo dela, embaixo daquela torre de rádio. Tá. Ai, vamos preparar. Mais falação.
You're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills.
Você já tá ficando chato, hein, velho?
Al, you make cruel jokes.
Chega, velho. Chega. Eu, hein? Agora a gente tá indo pro parque.
That's just crazy talk, Al.
Não.
Al. Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry.
Ele tá bravo
I'm
mesmo,
going to
velho.
Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Então vamos voltar até de manhã. Agora o velho tá ficando doente, velho.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist. Or it'll
Tá,
be
velho, tá,
deliverance all
chega,
over
muito
again.
chato. A gente tá com a arma.
Bless you.
Saúde.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
15%? Olha, a gente tem um chalé todo pra nós, eu achando que era só um quarto. Como é que eu saio daqui? Acho que é por ali, ó. Aê, moleque. Ué? Eita, a gente já ficou num lugar mais ou menos parecido com esse, velho. Vem não, bicho, vem não. Esse cara ainda tá falando, por que ele não para de falar, velho? Eu podia dirigir esse carro, né, mano? Droga. Opa, uma página do manuscrito. Aqui, ó. Bom, a gente deixou passar mais uma. Barry duvida da sanidade de Wake.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
Eu entendo, Barry, mas sei lá, velho. Se eu tivesse na situação dele, eu também acharia que o Alan tá louco. Tudo bem, então. Barry tem razão.
I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Bom, vamos a Lover's Pack. Que susto, bicho. Pra que isso, mano? Ó, só ia entrar aqui pra ver se tem recurso, velho. Precisava disso. A resposta é não, não precisava. Acender a luz. Eu vou acender, é claro. Quem gosta de escuro é morcego, velho. Tem um guarda-roupa aqui. E tem... Tem munição de revólver. Só deixa eu ver se eu só tenho revólver, velho. Quando acaba a bala da 12, a 12 some. Agora vamos escutar esse rádio aqui.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage. No plan, really, just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us gentlemen, huh?
Eu não sei porque que a gente escuta esse diálogo.
But I'm gonna check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year.
Nossa, é muita... Não, chega. Ah, velho.
Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the piece of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Well, considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Não sei se esses diálogos vão agregar em alguma coisa, velho, mas tá todo mundo esperando essa festa do cervo. A gente soube do cachorrinho também pelos diálogos. Não sei, velho. Se por acaso alguém estiver assistindo e quiser que eu pare de ficar ouvindo os diálogos do rádio, mano, eu paro, velho, de boa. E esse pneu balançando sozinho aqui. Que isso, mano? Que isso, do nada, velho. Eita, eu vou sair daqui, mano. Ai, a gente tava descendo aqui. Eu tava loucão, nem sabia onde eu tava. Não lembrava, sabia, eu sabia. E mais uma cabana aqui, vamos ver se dá pra entrar nela. O chão deu uma tremida. Essa daqui tá com as janelas todas quebradas, velho. Cheio de curva aqui dentro, você é louco. O que que tem no chão? É sangue. Isso não é nada bom. Usar? Ah, é uma TV. E aí, mais um episódio daquele programa louco lá. Night Springs.
But some crimes are impossible to punish, especially in Night Springs. Tonight's episode: The Man in the Mirror.
Tem como acender a luz? Não.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why? Coming? Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists?
Nossa.
That sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that? I didn't like his face? Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either. That must be difficult. But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical. Huh, how about that? Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy. It's plenty red now. You won't get away with this. Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me. You bastard. What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me. I don't understand any of this. And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Cada brisa nesse jogo, mano. Tá, eu vou sair daqui. Tem um carro ali, tem vários corvos. O carro tá aparentemente batido. Pegar a página do manuscrito, mais uma página. A morte de Rusty.
The visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
Mano, a gente vai encontrar aquele carinha morto, velho, da pousada. E eu não quero isso. Bom, não tem ninguém ali no carro.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
What the fuck, velho? Já cansou, velho? Olha lá ele lá.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here. Mr. Wake?
Meu Deus.
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Bom, galera, eu vou deixar o vídeo por aqui. Os bagulho tá ficando tenso aqui. A gente tem que ligar as luzes pra tentar salvar o Rust. E é isso, eu agradeço a todos que assistiram até aqui. Os mistérios só aumentam. Até o próximo vídeo e falou!